Summer.
Not here.
Yeah, yeah, she used another very different styles. Yeah. That's the little thing about it.
And welcome to the 5th Poetry Slam. Way! We have a team here from Houndsdown. Where are they? Oh, we should have a team from Knowleswood. And Applemore. Youth Forest Academy. And last but not least, of course, Romsey School. Welcome to all of you. For those of you who don't know, I'm Paul McCavan, the head teacher. I'm here to welcome you. I'm so proud we have this competition here and are willing to host it and are able to host it. And that's very much thanks to Fiona Crowther, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. But we also say a very warm welcome to Matt West, who's going to be our host for this evening. And our guest poet this evening is Sama Minhas. Welcome. Okay, before we get started and I hand over to Matt, there's just one thing I want to say. Fiona Crowther, this is her last Poetry Slam. Fiona has been a champion, not just for the Poetry Slam, but the whole of this literary festival. And we're so proud that she's worked with us over these past 5 or 6 years. So I just want to say thank you to her. She's retiring at the end of the year, fully deserved to have the opportunity to spend time with her family. But thank you, Fiona. Come up, please. She got a poem instead of a speech. I don't know it's a leading poem, but anyway, Matt, hand over to you now.
I like that. I just like to raise the nervous level in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Raise the nervous level in the room. How you all doing? Oh. We're seriously going to have to sort this stuff out, aren't we? Seriously going to have to sort this stuff out. Let's warm up the room a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, I want to hear you making a noise as if Japan have just scored a goal in the opening group stage of the World Cup. Okay, I'd like to hear you make a noise as if Germany have just gone out of the World Cup. Okay, I'd like to hear you make a noise as if it's that last penalty kick for England. It's just gone in the back of the net. It's better. Yeah, good evening. It's lovely to see you all here. And welcome to the Wessex Schools Poetry Slam. It's a great pleasure to visit the schools each year, to work with the students and to write poems. What a lovely thing to do, what a lovely thing to do. And so we wish everybody really good luck who's taking part. The running order for this evening is going to be, we are going to have one of last year's winners, Annie Elliott, to warm up the room. Then we are going to have 8 of our student slammers. And then, just as a twist in proceedings this year, we are going to have our first ever staff slam round. And then a little break, because all the excitement is just going to be far too much for us. There's water outside. If anyone gets really hot and they need to go and get a drink, there's water outside. And then after the break, we're going to have another 9 slammers. Maybe. And then we're going to have a headline set from the National Poetry Slam champion, Simon Willis. First, what I'd like to do is I'd like to assemble a panel of judges. And normally we select judges at random from the audience, but we found out what happens if you put the vote in the hands of the people and where that can end up. So we've gone for unproportional representation instead. So I'd like to welcome our first judge to take a seat over there. He's the regional manager from Hammer and Tongue Solent. Please can you welcome Damien Ovich. Our next guest judge is a theatre maker and performance coach. Please can you welcome Anna Carr! The school slam would not be complete without one of our judges being from Nova School, Mr. Jim Wyatt! Come on down. Okay, you've got three judges. Next up, please can we welcome from Hounsdown School, Stephen Oates. And finally, just to raise the bar, our final judge is none other than Selma Minas. Brief recap of the rules. The rules are quite simple, really. It's a poetry slam, and it's not fair. It's never fair. All the poems are winners, right? Everyone who's here today, who's taken part, they've taken part in a school slam, and they've been selected for being the strongest in that school. So everyone's a winner. But it's a poetry slam, and there can only be one proper winner of that. That's just the way it goes. It's cruel, subjective art form and all that. It's cruel, but that's how it is. So everyone is worth, as far as I'm concerned, at least 6.5 for making it this far and for taking the stage here for you. The scorecards, can you show me the scorecard there, Jim?
I'm going to do that for you now.
Right.
This is le minimum. You won't be seeing any of those though.
No.
Probably not.
I've seen any of those.
Le minimum.
None of those. The judges have also this year got notepads. I know, right? I know. Just in case you'd like to make a comment about the performance that you see, got a bit of advice. If you've got, something you particularly liked about it, then maybe we'll come and we'll visit you. We'll find out about that. Sounds all right, doesn't it? Okay. Do I need to tell anybody anything else? I don't think so. Okay, please can you be warm and welcome our... no, that's fine. No. Can we... It's worth asking though, right? It's worth asking. Please can you be warm and welcome our first guest, one of last year's winning team, the one and only Annie Elliott to the microphone.
Hello, I'm Annie Elliott. I've got a choice of Form 2 poems, But I don't know if I should perform the other one or not. I'll perform the first one and I'll see whether. So this one's called My Grandmother's Hands. Every fold in your skin, every crease in your palm draws a picture symbolising your life. Every step that you took, every breath that you made, all the decisions, the laughter, the pain and the love come together to create these beautiful lines of meaning and purpose, all layered up right to the surface. Yes, although delicate and fragile, they've created the most detailed of things. Beautiful patterns and designs I couldn't even imagine possible with those delicate and fragile hands of yours. As you placed 2 needles in my palm, I watched the wool weaving through, dodging one another like 2 shoals of fish colliding. I observed as you focus your eyes on every structure, each pattern being your own personal transcriber. Each stitch filled with meaning, contentment, love and compassion like your little investment. And it's all under your control. You're responsible for making them whole. But not just that, they bring life. They have delivered a life. To think that someone with such delicate and fragile hands could create these... Oh, sorry, I'm forgetting it.
Hey!
Let me just find my own, sorry. I'll just go from here. But not just that. They bring life. They have delivered life. To think that someone with such delicate and fragile hands could create these stitches of life that add to her on their outcome. Oh, I can't do it. I've lost it now. The support and strength they have given, no matter their ability or condition. She knitted their path for our world, the map of their life just waiting to be uncurled. The stitches sit perfectly in place just as your fingers do, a specific gap just for the needle to fit through. Your wrinkles are vast, yet tend to contrast. They shall always outlast the life that was cast, because they were classed as our vital mast. Your pores conjoining, no sense of avoiding, creating a banquet, a woolen blanket of every form and structure, every detail and display was intended. The smooth edges of your fingernails, never going bare, looked after with so much time, so much care. And on your left hand, just as planned, sits a ring, and not just any kind of bling, a symbol of your devotion, of life's key potion, to show your love you are constantly full of, placed by a hand of similar details. As long as the stitches stay, the marriage prevails. Because there's layers and layers of skin sprouted from deep within, sculpted parchments placed carefully on one another, like thin layers of an onion, and just like that onion, the layers make you cry, because each delicate and fragile layer holds beauty, unexplainable beauty. And day by day, each layer, like undone stitches, shall slowly fade away, deep into my vague memory, never opaque like emery. They morph into something new. Of these, I have a clear view, for they are all she left behind, apart from the old needle I could find. So this poem was written for a very good friend of mine. If I were to draw our Jordan, I'd find the best pencil I could find upon the best piece of cartridge paper around. You'd see strands of blonde merged with brown, carefully placed as if a crown. The wavy locks carved to his face, crafted and structured to signify his grace. Surrounding your pupils, I'd sketched the world. Combinations of colour would have twisted and twirled. Sparks of blue merged with grey, the blend of tones putting our minds at bay. White roses flitter amongst the sclera, growing together in groups and crowds, building bonds as the journey endures, as the memories flourish. Your timeline of life was drawn with pencil, A line with lumps and bumps going up and down in curves and swerves, a line rarely straight. He drew this line himself, no matter his sickness nor health. Every fraction of charcoal radiates his charisma, pressed with pure sincerity. These formations of lines were not lonely nor unaccompanied. His line weaved of others, intertwined with them, interlacing with love and devotion, affecting others with positive lights, giving them his mindful insights to what he thought and what he felt.